Lee Fang is with us today. He's a writer for The Nation, also author of the new book, The Machine. Check it out at themachinebook.com. Lee, I want to talk a little bit to start with about the so-called IRS scandal, which I maintain, number one, appears to have nothing to do with President Obama, and number two, is not seeming to me to be like much of a scandal. Before we go into the 501c3, C4 rules and all of that stuff, one of the main concerns, one of the main allegations is right-wing groups are being unfairly targeted and or scrutinized. Let's go beyond that and explore what groups have actually lost nonprofit status.
Well, hey, David, thanks for having me. That is an interesting question because if you look in the last 4 years of the Obama administration and the IRS under him, the only group to lose, the only 501c4 political group to lose tax-exempt status is this organization, Emerge America. They train women to run for office, usually liberal, Democratic-leaning women. And they actually had their status revoked from the IRS. And that's quite a step further than the controversy that has been in the news the past couple of weeks. Some of these groups that are affiliated with the Tea Party being asked additional questions, some of those questions clearly inappropriate, but we have to look at the entire view of this whole issue. I mean, these inappropriate questions were also asked to some Democratic groups like Progress Texas, as Bloomberg reported, so it wasn't narrowly targeting Tea Partiers. And then, again, if you look at the broader issue here, only one group, a Democratic group, has lost its status. I think we can talk a little bit about this later, but there are much bigger issues at the IRS.
Right. So let's talk about what the definition is, what requirements need to be met to maintain or qualify for the 501c4 status with regard to how much of what you're doing, how political can the group be? How is that question answered by the IRS?
Well, there are two kind of main political designations: 501c3, which can't do anything explicitly partisan or political, and you can get a tax write-off for donating to them, and a 501c4, which is the issue here. The C4 is you don't get a tax write-off for donating to them, but they're still tax exempt. And they can still do some politics, some issue-based advocacy. But the IRS rules state their primary purpose, their primary activity cannot be political. And most tax lawyers agree that means no more than 50% of the money can be spent on political purposes, like holding political rallies or airing advertisements, sending mailers, that type of kind of super PAC type activity. And this is the big scandal here. The Obama administration, or at least the IRS under Obama, has not really scrutinized the hundreds of kind of bogus 501c4 groups that have been popping up ever since the Citizens United decision, because a lot of folks prefer donating to political campaigns through a 501c4, which does not have to disclose a dime of their donors, rather than to a super PAC, which usually faces monthly disclosures. So if you want to keep your name secret, if you're a big company that wants to get politically engaged, but you don't want to tarnish your brand by having it disclosed, you give to a 501c4.
Yeah, Lee, you're really getting to the root of what I'm concerned about here, which is, okay, some of the questions asked to Tea Party and other groups were inappropriate, but the spirit of here, when I hear, listen, groups that quickly came together after Citizens United to raise money and are associated with movements including the Tea Party, small government, etc., which don't like taxes, particularly when it's President Obama in the White House, receiving extra scrutiny. I don't see that as a scandal. The questions, the specific questions we can talk about. The real issue to me seems all of the groups you're talking about who don't deserve the status but have it, and also, as I've been talking about for years, the religious organizations, the churches that are doing political advocacy and also shouldn't have it.
No, those are good points. And look, if you're an IRS commissioner or a staff member and you're trying to sort all of these applications and add some scrutiny to these obviously political ones, I mean, it's not that crazy that they would go after the one with named after a political party. If you call yourself the Tea Party, if you call yourself the Democratic Party, you're probably going to receive more scrutiny because they can't have explicitly political organizations registering as 501c4. But the group of people that really deserve more scrutiny are the lobbyists, because the big money lobbyists are the ones who set up these bogus 501c4 groups that have pumped tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars into the political system with no disclosure. And it's a little bit ironic that folks like Ron Johnson, the senator from Wisconsin, are kind of asking for or demanding an investigation into the Tea Party IRS issue, when really the only reason he won office was because of these bogus 501c4 groups spending millions of dollars in Wisconsin to get him elected.
My optimistic hope, and this may just be pie in the sky stuff that won't happen, is that people will realize, instead of, hey, Obama is personally asking that Tea Party groups be scrutinized, which is obviously the absurd kind of conspiratorial notion that some are taking from this, for people to realize that's not the issue. The real issue is how so much money is filtered in ways that it becomes untraceable and is being used to further agendas that don't necessarily represent anybody's constituents, anybody's voters. If people could get a better understanding of that, then that would be a positive thing. I just don't know if corporate media will allow that to be the point that translates to people.
Well, it's a problem because a lot of the news that we depend on, the broadcast media, at least the cable television, the local television, they make a lot of money off of this secret money. These 501c4 groups, these bogus ones that just raise millions of dollars in corporate money, then dump them into elections. That money's spent on television advertisements, and a big cut of that goes to the broadcasting companies. So they kind of have an incentive not to make that the true crux of the scandal, when really that's how our democracy is being bought right now.
Lee Fang is a writer for The Nation. The new book is The Machine. I have it at home. I'm getting into it slowly. I've got it on my desk right now. TheMachineBook.com is where you can learn more about it. Excellent work on the book, Lee, and keep up the great work for The Nation as well.
Hey, thanks for having me, David. Appreciate it.